Hola, mi amigos. El trabají Turdel. Me llamo. We are live, eh?
Morning, everybody. Gardner was giving me some signs here. We're trying to get lined up. How do we feel about me now? Good. We'll get there. It's Chris Edmond, Travis Stroh. We love pulling the curtain back, letting everybody see. Happy Wednesday, Travis. Carly Lawrence will be here in the second hour. We'll play some dogs on film. Real quick, Dr. Ed won't be here today. He was going to pop in. Somebody tried to break into Hillside Animal Hospital and actually caused a fire on the roof.
Something else.
Who does that? Wait, who's y'all?
Yeah,
Careful
something
now.
else. Yeah, something else.
So as we find out more, we'll let you know about that. All dogs and animals are okay. All people are okay. So
Everyone's safe.
yep, everyone's safe. But I believe an AC unit caught on fire. The news is covering that this morning. I got a few messages.
Come on, yeah, wild.
So glad Dr. Ed and his staff are all right. Travis Trell, you're here. I'm here. We're at Midcoast Studio. We're on YouTube at the Midcoast Media channel. The curator and guy who's losing his mind right now, Chris Gardner.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, guards.
Good morning, Walnut.
There it is. Put it up, dog. Nuts on walls, 2020.
Glad everything's going to be okay, Dr. Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Seems that way.
Be the last time you break into the hospital. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
How am I on my alignment?
Your microphone's in the way.
In the way.
Yeah.
How about now?
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it rocking. Lots to get to today. Like I said, Carly Lawrence will be in. Yesterday was a lot of fun.
Old Carl's.
What's that?
Old Carl's. Carl's Lawrence. One of the finest Blues in-game host of the Stanley Cup champions.
One of two. So you're saying she's better than her dude?
No doubt about it.
Okay. We're keeping our streak of talented sports-related STL reporters going yesterday. Got a lot of good feedback from Brooke Grimsley coming in yesterday, Gardner.
What a delightful interview.
She was. It was funny when she did this. She was like going after Gardner in his bubble. Remember
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
She's on TV.
Yeah. And she was mesmerized by our.
Ben Fred called me and said it was a
Phoenix,
good interview.
Yeah, it was. She was very interesting. I'd love to have her back in and just shoot the breeze about anything, really. Travis,
Yes.
What do we want to play that game? Do we want to give weird looks? We can do that.
You want to try one? Give yours. Give yours. Look. Give your look. There you go. See it?
Are you going for a particular
Me?
emotion?
Yeah, we're just going for confusion.
I thought we're devoid of emotion for the most part.
Is that the New Year's resolution for us?
Yeah.
Devoid of emotions.
Yeah.
Because I can pull that off. That's one resolution I can stick to.
Really?
Nah, man. I'll watch.
No, you
I
can't.
look. I was watching. Those soldiers when they come back home from war. Those videos get me every damn time, man. Y'all can't keep doing that. Surprising the kid at the school. That is just, come on, man. Every freaking
Trying
time.
to make yourself cry?
No, I'm not trying to. Like, you'll watch the news and you're just trying to find out what the weather is for tomorrow. And then they're like, oh, we're here in southern Florida. Lieutenant Williams has been in Afghanistan for 27 years, has not seen his children in 3 decades, and he's like dressed up in
I
a
haven't seen
mascot.
any story
and he-
like
and he's
that.
like, oh, hey, that's my favorite mascot. Then he takes the head off, and his dad, I ain't seen him in 4 decades. And they're love, and it's sweet, and it's delightful.
How old is this kid?
He's probably like 29 at that
But
point.
you said he hasn't seen him in 4
Three.
decades.
You
Nah,
said 3, then 4.
And that's how long it's been.
So
But
he's
he wouldn't have-
47 years old.
He wouldn't have been here.
Look,
is
man,
a-
I'm not a
The
historian.
dad would have to be like an 8-star
I'm
general
not
in
a-
his 80s.
I'm not a historian. I don't know how these.
None of the story
These
what
things
you
were.
said makes sense.
Nevertheless, they're very impactful emotionally.
Okay, when you just say nevertheless, it's all
Nevertheless.
okay.
Mhm.
I had a weird dream last night.
Oh boy.
Oh, did you write like a 3-paragraph synopsis of it on your Facebook and share it with everybody?
No, am I
I
supposed
love,
to?
I love when people do that.
I was at a baseball game, a Cardinal game,
Uh-huh.
but Daryl Kyle was pitching,
Mhm.
and I just remember watching Daryl Kyle pitch last
This
night.
is
Does
your
that mean you
dream?
died?
Yeah.
Does that mean you died last
I
night?
don't know. Well, inside.
Yeah.
But it was weird. I woke up and I'm like, wait, Why did I have a dream about Daryl Kyle?
You know, I think
weird.
I think it really is us tapping into our emotions. I today coming into work, there was a gentleman who was driving by our building, and it was a Bud Light truck. You were lucky I didn't get your information on the back because he threw a banana peel out the window and littered in the street right here on Locust.
Actually,
Actually did
like
that.
it was Mario Kart. Maybe you
Yeah.
maybe you were riding him a little too.
I
close.
wasn't behind him. I was already parked. I was getting
Threw a
set to
banana
walk into
peel?
the building. He threw a banana peel in the middle of the street, and I got viscerally upset
Let me
because
ask-
Greta Thunberg told us we got to save our world.
I don't.
Was this
think,
an English soccer fan?
No, he was very.
That's
And you
what
know
I was.
what?
I was wondering what color the driver was.
Oh, he was black. Okay.
Okay. I was wondering if this was
Something.
racially motivated.
Now there was something else that may have been like racially motivated this morning that led to. Well, it didn't lead to. Almost did to road rage. Like I just feel like.
What's happening?
I'm just describing like how I feel emotionally these days. Coming into work again, about to pull up into our parking lot. There's a gentleman in front of me, white truck. We're in the city, am I correct?
Yeah.
Urban area, correct? He had a Trump bumper sticker. I
Well,
didn't.
That's his
I didn't-
right.
I didn't like that.
Well, he gets to do
No,
that.
I know he gets the legal right to do that. I didn't like that.
Do you want him to have that legal?
I don't want him to be. If he wants to have that bumper sticker, take it out to the rural areas.
See, I'm not down for that, Travis.
Okay.
Because
It's not
here's
just
why.
it's just an emotional thing I'm going through.
I know,
these
but
days.
it's good to know where people stand on.
That is also true.
Don't you
That's
wanna-
better. You're right.
Like, you can judge them, most certainly. You're more than welcome to. I mean, it's only we should judge people while they're living because they're not going to get judged after that. So yes, you most certainly can judge him for it, but I don't want people. I want to know where they stand, so I know how to
Nah,
deal
that's
with
fair.
them.
That's a good point. I'm just look. It's a lot going on. It's climate change. Australia's on fire. War with Iran. How can you not be emotional these days? So I would fail at that resolution.
think
I
you
would
need
not
to-
be able to be
I
devoid
need
of
you
emotion.
to process information differently.
How? How? It's hard, man. It's hard.
What's going
I
on
think
with
that's
you?
I think
Because
that's why a
here's
lot
what-
of,
here-
I
Can
think
you
that's why a
think
lot of
locally?
people are on medication. I think a lot of people who are
Alright.
seeing are going to see therapists because
Yeah.
there is a lot. Like if you were to just sit down, and now if you just were to sit down and just watch an hour of what is going on in the world, not necessarily the news, but just take the time to update yourself just for 1 hour out of the day as to what's just going on at any given moment. Like that's enough to not only break you down, but if you were watching it as a movie, you're going to be like, all right, this guy's a little bit over the top with how dark and dramatic it is, right? But that's kind of how it feels these days. So, I take a little solace in things like this lovely show and the company I keep with my good
I
friends.
don't think you enjoy this show.
Oh, man, I do, man. Every time I come in here, every time I'm walking into the building and up that elevator, I'm thinking
At
today
8:04.
Yeah.
magic will be made.
If
When-
you didn't say it, I was.
Every time I'm running from my car to the door, realizing
If you
After
guys,
8
if you,
a.m..
I want to take a GoPro. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get a GoPro, and I am going to
What are you gonna do?
video my drive into the city.
That's fine. Just make sure it's time stamped too,
Okay.
because I want to know what time you leave.
Okay.
what's the video gonna have in it?
I think I just want to give you guys a sense as to the Mario Kart I must drive through in order to try to get here in a timely manner. And here's the thing: it's not necessarily the route.
You know, I've
It's
driven
not
in
the hold on,
traffic
hold on. It's
before.
not even the route. It's the people. It's the drivers. And you know, and we know in the city. Don't sit up here and try to don't get brand new on me when it comes to the terrible driving that takes place in the city because you bitch about it almost as much as I do. There's terrible drivers in the city of St. Louis. So I'm good coming in from the county. It's once I arrive within city limits when people are literally looking out the window talking to Junebug because he ain't seen him in 2 weeks. It's literally some homeless person hopping on the hood of a car to wipe down a windshield for 25 cents and change.
you're taking
So
on the homeless.
excuse me, I'm not taking on the I'm just saying
It sounds
there
like
are
it.
unforeseen obstacles that you guys don't have to encounter on some of your commute that I must encounter every day, which leads to me occasionally, from time to time, not often, rarely.
50%?
90?
I don't know. We don't. You have the numbers on that? You don't have any evidence.
Well,
Do your
we have
research.
recorded
You need to do your
evidence.
research. So, and because of that, I think you guys will be more sympathetic. Like, oh man, I get it.
Well,
I
here's
want
the
to give
deal.
you a hug, Travis. I love you.
I used to
You know, there's
drive
less traffic earlier too.
I used to drive in from O'Fallon to downtown to work,
Mm-hmm.
and I would make it to work on time.
I don't think you did. I don't think you did.
I did.
Check his employment record.
Yeah,
Call Camo X.
yeah, that's
Say,
where.
pull the file.
Were you drinking then?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Very good. Very impressive.
yeah, don't play that game.
So yeah, I don't. Ooh, it's a tough one for you to overcome there.
Mhm.
Sorry, guys.
Uh,
But check
I-
out the Brooke Grimsley interview. It was very good.
Yeah.
What?
Try to you dodging more? A
Just a little bit.
little more dodging there.
Call him Cody Bellinger. My
Yeah.
God.
Oh, I see what you did
You're
there.
saying you're going to be devoid of emotion.
And
as
then
your
he
New
goes
Year's
right
resolution,
to
and then you went-
signing up for. He's like, nope, wait, victim cards right here.
And then just for 3 minutes there was nothing but pure emotion.
No, that's
Woe-
what I
woe
said.
is
I
me.
said that's why I would not be able to complete such a resolution. I would love to
Mm.
this idea that one could be devoid of emotion for an entire 12 months. I just don't think for me that's physically
Yeah,
possible.
it's something like serial killers. You'd have to be like a serial killer type. Be devoid
Yeah.
of emotion.
Speaking of
Have
which,
no remorse.
speaking of which, I finally watched Joker last night.
Uh-huh.
I finally watched the big character study done by Joaquin Phoenix, and it is pretty brilliant. It's very brilliant. It's a solid film. I'm starting to wonder if Todd Phillips was just trolling us with some of those statements,
Certainly could have been.
because it was an interesting way he told the story, and the way he told the story really did not fall into line with the "you can't say anything on TV anymore" narrative. So, but nevertheless, when it comes from like just far as being something that's different and entertaining, it did the job. I disagree with Rotten Tomatoes audience score in regards to the Joker. It was a very
their audience
fine
score bad?
film. I thought the audience score was like in the 60s. I think the critic scores was in like the high 80s, low 90s maybe. But nevertheless, it was Joaquin Phoenix is brilliant in this performance. It's a dark turn. It's like it's like the first 10 minutes, the tone and the way Joaquin Phoenix just goes about the character, it just unsettles you. Like a little shiver goes down your spine. It's something about his approach, and he's very, I don't know, the build up is well worth it. He does a great job just evolving that character throughout the film, and it was haunting to watch. And I like that. Look, it still has a tie-in to the DC universe. Obviously Joker. It references the Wayne family. I'm not trying to give too much away, but it does reference the Wayne family a lot. So it's set in Gotham. But as the movie evolves, it takes place in 1981, so it gives it even more of a grittier vibe. As the film evolves, you're just like, oh man, I can't believe I'm on this journey. This is one hell of a dark ride.
You just made me think. You think your culture's ever thought of doing like Black Batman? And then like the Wayans brothers get involved, because then it could be the Waynes, like instead of Bruce Wayne, something Wayans.
Man, I think blacks have more respect for the Marvel universe than the law these days. So they would absolutely.
Is that Marvel?
Well, DC. They love comic book characters to the point where they don't like to mess with the formula. They're okay with Batman being a spoiled rich white Republican. That's fine. We kind of figured that's what he was
My
anyway.
favorite when Travis speaks for an entire race. too.
I do. I try. I do what I can. But no, yeah,
I thought it was great. It was 69%. Nice. On Rotten Tomatoes, 88% by the audience. So opposite.
So the audience liked it more than the critics? Oh, okay. Excuse me. I liked it. If you want to judge on its messaging, then we're gonna have to sit up here and do that for everyone. So is it violent? I don't think it promotes violence. It is a violent movie. I think just because you're a violent movie, I don't think you're in the business of promoting violence, or you're now directly responsible for some of the horrific crimes that take place across America. I didn't see that narrative, but again, if others saw it that way, so be it. That's
But it
their
makes
prerogative. But for me, I was just like, oh, this is a person who may be mentally ill, but maybe not, maybe playing the system, but maybe not. You're never sure. He walks that fine line.
He's on like 10 pill prescription.
Yeah,
I
he's
think
on-
that's a
And it kind of, and like I said, when it was, if you want to
What
talk
are the
about
pills
liberal,
for, though?
but it
Does he
was,
have acid reflux?
well, here's the thing. It was like, even if it was a liberal bent, like I said, Todd Phillips taking this weird approach that, PC culture has ruined, comedy.
I think they make you, they force you to say, like, whose fault is it?
I think that's essentially. I know it basically addresses it as, there is a blind spot in our mental health system in America, and so it kind of alludes to that. I think that's pretty progressive stance to take a moment throughout a superhero film to allude to the crisis in regard to mental illness in this country. So I don't know. I thought it from an entertaining film, from acting, from the way it was shot, the directing, even though I disagree with Todd Phillips' comments about where comedy is, he did a very good job at directing that film.
Speaking of comedy, you had Mark Maron heavily featured.
Maron was
Or he had a big small part, right?
he had a small part. It was
memorable. He had lines.
He had about 5 lines.
That's a
Well,
big
that's good for
small
Maron.
part.
I'm just saying, Mark
Yeah.
Maron's also in Glow. He's a lead in a
No, I'm
major
just saying,
Netflix series.
That was a big. Either way, Mark Maron's in it. 2 guys that have been on this show were in it. Brian Callen
Yeah.
was in it, and Gary Goldman.
Callen was in
Also
it. Goldman was, one of the comedians. Actually, was the comedian on stage performing when Joaquin Phoenix was in the club taking notes.
And Brian Callen was in the clown makeup room with him.
Well,
Had a li- had a
yeah,
line,
yeah,
too.
I had a line. Joaquin Phoenix, man, he did the Christian Bale thing like he did in The Machinist, where he lost a lot of weight. Like, he is bone skinny in this film. It's again, he steps into character. And I remember seeing the early photos of the Joker when Joaquin Phoenix was announced the cast, and everybody was like, I don't know about this.
Mm-hmm.
Once you get to the third act of the film, you're just like, oh yeah. You definitely are the Joker. You're the Joker. This is
Dove in.
incredibly dark.
Yeah.
So shout out to Warner's and Joker and Todd Phillips. Good film. Should be interesting to see if it gets some Oscar love.
Yeah. I don't.
Oh, he won the Golden Globe.
He won the
right?
Golden Globe and gave a very Joaquin Phoenix speech. Yeah. It was a very Joaquin Phoenix speech. Did you see it?
Mm-mm.
It's some expletives. He was more genuinely passionate about the food that was being served at the Golden Globes because it was all vegan, and he's a big, apparently huge animal activist. So I guess he really saw it as a brave gesture from the foreign press to serve all vegan food, and then he talked about how the industry is, cardboard boxes, not really real. We're all playing these characters here tonight, blah, blah, blah. Very Joaquin Phoenix type of speech.
Is vegan the one? Do they not eat eggs?
Yeah.
You
No
get-
product
you
or
have to ask.
byproduct from animals.
Okay.
I eat everything, you know what I mean?
I wasn't asking about you.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen you.
Yeah. Like they would like if you're full on vegan, like you don't wear leather, either.
Okay, so it's not just eating then.
It's a lifestyle for
Okay.
sure. Because leather's going to come from the animal too. So no, if it is my understanding, no animal products or byproducts. Yeah. So you got to watch that because there's like beef paste and a lot of stuff.
What's a beef paste?
It's just filler, I guess. But there's animal product and stuff you wouldn't realize.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay.
It's everywhere, man.
It's easy then. I just won't do that.
There you go.
Let's just
Eat a potato a day.
yeah. Let's just
Wouldn't that suck?
take
if they
that out
find
of an option.
You do find out that we just can't understand plants, how they scream. Oh God! And they've been killing all along, and animals are actually evil.
Yeah, they're just paralyzed. You
Yeah.
know that stuff you get, like they inject you and you
Yeah,
you're
it's
paralyzed.
your ancestors,
Yeah.
The only
and
time,
they feel the pain more
only
because
time,
they're leaves.
only time I get really freaked out about killing animals is the lobsters, the crabs, and they're just in the sink and walking around like ain't a worry in the world, like they're not about to be thrown into a pot and
Boiling
boiled.
pot.
Yeah.
Oh, that catfish that one time. My dad.
They're so delicious, but the way they go out, isn't that terrible to say? Like just the way you go out, but yet you're so delicious.
Is it make them taste better?
I don't know, man. It's like we use, and then the funny thing is we use parts of them to make them taste better. So like with a cheeseburger, we're not only eating your meat, I'm going to take your milk,
Nice.
add some cheese to it, so I can make you taste better.
Yeah.
That's some humans are pretty. That's some cold-blooded shit.
Yeah.
You imagine somebody eating your body, boiling your foot, and just little foot oregano makes Gardner a little bit better.
Foot oregano.
That's some cold-blooded killing.
What alcoholic drink would you suggest to your captor?
Oh, good
You-
one.
If they're going to eat you.
Yes.
But you have to suggest a drink. And if they don't like the pairing, they kill your next of kin
I'd have
as
to
well.
research it.
You had everything right with that scenario up until
Yeah,
the killing of the next of kin.
Well, you
you
can't-
didn't have to
well,
go.
you
You,
can't-
didn't have to raise the
You can't
stakes
just
that
be like-
high.
you can't, well, no, because then you'd be like warm Jägermeister and tell them something terrible. No, you want the actual pairing.
Like, am I doing a wine?
It's an alcoholic drink.
What alcoholic drink pairs
Your
well if a
Hannibal Lecter's
cannibal
got you
eats
locked
you?
up, and he's like, "Listen, bitch, you're toast, or should I say meat, and it's happening. I need a drink pairing to eat you with.
Well, I know my
If I don't like it,
I mean,
I'm coming after your parents."
if I'm guessing, and I go Silence of the Lambs, it'd be a nice Chianti.
Okay, well that's lazy.
You're asking me in. Other people's lives are on the line.
I think
So if I'll be lazy, that's okay. I need to be
That's
right.
what you expected. Okay. So it's not Hannibal Lecter. It's a random serial killer who is going to eat you,
Okay.
and it has to pair best with you, not the personal. They don't want a personal recommendation. What goes best with Chris Gardner's smoky body?
Well, I found this article
He's
at
taking it
Gizmodo,
serious. Okay.
headlined
no, no.
"Wine pairings for zombies. Which wines go best with human flesh?"
Oh, here we go. I knew somebody would write
I don't
this.
know what this has yet, though.
Our friend Marcus Hain, he's got a
Okay.
he's got a tight muscular body, so he's suggesting a nice Hefeweizen be served to his
Okay.
person.
In response to the recent infamous Miami zombie attack, I guess I don't know what that was.
Oh, it was the face eater guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Miami New Times asked Tool and A Perfect Circle frontman Maynard James Keenan, who owns both Merkin Vineyards and
Arizona.
Caduceus Cellars, what wine would go best with human face.
Okay.
Keenan recommends Pinot Noir for cheeks, a big Shiraz for the tongue, and beer for the nose and lips.
Hey man, don't eat no beer. Don't drink no beer when you eat my lips. Please don't.
Why?
I'm classier than that. MD 2020, please.
Oh,
You're
with
going
your
in
lips?
what color?
It's got to be
Not what flavor.
Red.
What color?
red.
That red.
Red.
Fruit punch red.
Red punch.
Red
Red
punch.
punch. My
MD
Travis is a little gristly, but this red punch Mad Dog.
Because I'm like 85% salt right now, for being
Yeah, I
completely
was gonna
honest.
say like let's
Like,
call it what it is.
Like my left leg is all seasoning salt. if
Yeah,
we're gonna be
whatever you would
completely honest.
whatever you would eat with pork belly, you should have with me.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Whatever's good with gristle.
Mhm.
Gristle and old fat.
hmm
Then
Now
you-
Gardner's smoky lungs would pair well with an older Scotch.
No, Gardner would probably. Yeah, that does.
Let's go
sound good.
Macallan then.
Mm-hmm.
Macallan 18 year.
Okay.
That would be messed up though. Like you like, man, I lived a life. Someone's eating my body and they're just drinking a orange Fanta.
Both red
Yeah.
and white
Or they
burgundy
treat-
work well with this classic French bistro dish, which is often made with pork tenderloin. So maybe I'm thinking of you, Chris. You said
Thank
pork.
you.
Yeah.
Well, pork belly. It's very salty fat.
Pork
dish.
belly. Okay. 5 good matches for roast pork belly. 1, medium dry cider.
Good.
2, India Pale Ale.
Okay.
A few others I'm going to have trouble saying.
Don't try
The
it.
black sheep would suggest Pediasure and Gatorade because they're going to absorb his hangover.
So maybe for me,
How about this? How about Travis gets out on a technicality? He's talking to a serial killer, and he's like, and the serial killer is serious, and he's like, I was thinking a Colt 45, and then Travis is like, really, man? Really? Because of the old ads? And the guy's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it like
That
that.
was rude of me.
You know
I
what?
do
Get out of here. I'll eat somebody else.
I was like, oh, thanks.
And then
And he goes,
then
and you know what?
Travis-
You didn't call me a racist. Thank
Yep,
you.
And then Travis gets let out, and he looks into the camera and goes, "Works every time."
Scene.
I like that. I like that. I like that.
Let's not do any more of the show.
I watch the hell out
Good
of
as it
that.
gets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm calling 18-year-old single malt Scotch whiskey then.
Okay.
If I was thinking wine immediately, but I wasn't. I'm not.
Would a mint jelly pair well with your menthol-soaked lungs?
I don't know.
Well, we'll look into that. Maybe like a pepper jelly.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll go with that Macallan Scotch for me.
Okay. My legs look tasty. Like it's like barbecue in the summer tasty.
Uh
Just recommend an old school cold bush beer when you get to the legs.
huh. For my legs, I'll go with a Hoo Garden.
Okay. I appreciate that.
We just gave Gardner something else to obsess over, and I feel so
Yeah.
terrible
What
about it.
alcoholic beverage will you eat with different parts of my body?
If you go to some of the layers you'd cut out of me, it's like if you kill black bears during blackberry season,
Yeah.
they'll have it'll be like purple on the inside. It'll taste sweet.
Yeah.
Or if you kill a pig that's been eating a bunch of berries, it'll do that. So maybe like
Well,
a
you're
sweet
gonna-
stout
Yeah,
for
you're gonna,
part of me as well.
You're gonna pair it different too. We were talking meat initially, but now like what if you do liver?
Yeah, and they're going to quarter us up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Glad we got this solved.
Well,
Can I ask you guys a question? Do
No.
you use? Damn it! I keep setting myself
Yeah.
up like that every.
go
time.
ahead.
you-
Yes,
you
you can
left
ask.
it
Thank
me.
you. I was
opening.
hoping for you guys to
Stop
be
doing
polite.
that.
Excuse
You know,
me.
there's. Let me say this real quick. Interject. A friend of mine runs a trivia company. He's been doing it for like 11 years with his brother, and he phrases questions improperly at time. Like, it would be, "Can you name all 4 of the Beatles?" And I would just answer yes.
'Cause
And
you're an
then
asshole.
and then turn it in and tell me. I go, "Make sure you mark that one right." He's like, "But that's not." I go, "You asked the question, can you name all 4 of the Beatles?" I answered it properly. You didn't ask me to list them. So that's kind of what you're asking here. That's why you're
Okay.
getting the responses
I
you're getting.
apologize. I'm so sorry for hoping that you all would be considerate. I'm such the idiot. Do you guys have the streaming apps, the Hulus, the Netflix, the Disney Pluses?
I have Netflix.
I've seen 'em.
You've seen them? Do you have
And I have-
Netflix, or are you guys using someone's password at some point for a reason? Old
I
ex-girlfriends,
don't have anything
old
set up.
neighbors, old roommates?
Uh-uh.
Okay. Well, the streaming services look like they're going to try to probably crack down on that because, according to a study, they believe companies lost up to $9.1 billion through password piracy and sharing. Charter Communications CEO, this is in the Hollywood Reporter, took aim at content companies entering the direct-to-consumer streaming business. The cable executive told a room full of investment bankers in Manhattan that the new streamers are creating havoc in the ecosystem. He wasn't talking about proliferation of content or the
About
fight
what?
proliferation.
Who's she?
Oh, she's cute. Half the people in the country live in houses with 2 or less people in them, and yet these services have 5 streams. You're a little snitch. There are more streams available than there are homes to use them. Password sharing has serious economic consequences. In 2019, companies lost about $9.1 billion to password piracy and sharing, and that will rise to $12.5 billion in 2024, according to data released by research firm Parks Associates. Now, I would imagine that the firm hired for this research was hired by cable companies, yes?
Maybe. That would make sense.
This is an interesting figure. I'm curious as to how they arrived to such a figure. For now, many streamers, of course, Netflix, Hulu, Disney, Amazon Prime, seem content to allow the practice to continue even while they crack down on illicit password sales. But as services mature, priorities will likely change. I agree. I think as obviously as more people enter the market, I think NBC is going to enter this year.
It's
with
gotten
Peacock.
comical at this point. We made that joke a couple of years ago where it's like this. It's called cable. What you're doing when you're subscribing to 4 or 5 different services.
Well, I'm
That-
just
that-
talking
that is
about
what cable is.
But I'm saying like I mean that's just a shift in the market. I'm talking about how they're missing out on nearly $10 billion worth of potential revenue by everyone just sharing their password.
Yeah.
Because I would imagine that you're not just going to, I mean, I don't know if it's that figure. I feel like that's a great exaggeration. However, I think it's simple math that you are leaving some money on the table by having people share the same password. So I would imagine that we're going to get a crackdown here in the next 2 or 3 years. Peacock, I think, enters the market in 2020. HBO Max enters the market this year. Disney's going to continue to expand with theirs. Netflix, obviously, we know it's growing. Streaming services like ESPN and Danzon, they're obviously getting involved. So you would think people are going to start to crack down on these passwords.
Maybe.
I don't know how they will go about in doing that, but I mean, gosh, that's a lot of money. Even if it's just half of that, even if it's just like, all right, you guys kind of doubled up, you went to the extreme version of that, you would have to guess, all right, maybe around $2-4 billion maybe left on the table. It's a lot of money for these streaming services.
Yeah, I hope they don't, because I'm gonna need your Disney Plus if
I
they ever
know,
do National Treasure 3 that gets released on there.
And then you'd wait for it to come out on Disney Plus.
Which is maybe that'll be the new bartering system where you'll let me use your Sling password, I'll let you use my Disney Plus password. And it's kind of that thing when you're like, I don't have this service, but I do have this, and Chris needs that, and I can. Now that may be the new form of how we do transactions in the
see that.
future.
I think some are already doing that.
Yeah.
That's a pretty fair.
Wild guess.
Yeah.
Travis, you're not on Twitter, but something's taken the nation by storm.
Oh no!
And you, maybe we can do this for each other real quick. This is from at a dribble of ink on Twitter.
Uh-oh.
Tell me a story about yourself that sounds like a lie, but is absolutely true. Some of these are gold, by the way. This is absolutely taken
How
fire.
many? How long are the threads? Are they long? Are they?
You can't. It's everywhere. Like so.
Oh, it has exploded. So tell a story about yourself that sounds true, but it's not.
Alexis Zotos, friend of the show, she actually got brought up on Randy Carricker's show yesterday for this. She said she's never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. She's had peanut butter, but not peanut butter and jelly.
That was her story?
Well, yeah, that's something you'd be like, well, that's crazy. It seems like a lie. Here's one from the...
But that's true, isn't it?
Yeah, it has to be true.
It has to be true.
But
so
it seems like a lie.
It seems like a lie. Okay,
But it's absolutely
I had it
true.
backwards. Okay.
From at Lindsay_NI. My middle name is literally an effing typo. My mom had a C-section and forgot to write the rest of Nicole due to the drugs. She fell asleep and they took the paperwork, wouldn't give it back, and now my middle name is NI.
Shut up. Now that's good.
There's a million of these. They're great.
Oh my, I have to jump on Twitter maybe to
Gardner,
take a
did
look.
you see this?
Yeah.
You have some favorites?
I saw one from a Post-Dispatch writer, Jeremy Kohler, who's an investigative reporter for the Post-Dispatch. And he said, when I was 15, Dr. Ruth invited me to her show and sent a limo to my school to pick me up. Now, he did go on to explain a little bit as to why
That's fun.
she wanted him on his show. And apparently, the topic was UFOs and aliens.
Oh, no.
She was really interested in whether aliens have sex and how they do it. Her
Oh,
featured guest,
no.
an expert on alien abduction, suggested me, and she sent the town car to my school.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I also met Connie Chung.
Oh, wow.
So some people of his coworkers and such are just, asking, like, we don't know this story. Can you please go on? And one person asking, because at 15 you were an expert on alien sex? Even more words, please. He said, no, but I was in the presence of alien sex experts. My expertise was in the shape and flight pattern of a particular type of cigar-shaped UFO. That one caught my eye.
Connie Chung.
That is so fake. It is true.
So
Like, because that's so elaborate and intricate.
I-
I'm just like, man, if you're lying, you're the best. Damn, you're really good.
I really need to hear Jeremy Kohler tell this story now.
That's outstanding. Okay, that's interesting. Do I have anything interesting in my life that would follow that pattern of something that?
See, I don't know for me because I think I've just said everything.
Uh,
Yeah,
There was
your
one-
stories oddly make sense. Like they're ridiculous and
Yeah.
out of this world, but when you get to the end, you go, "Oh, yeah, I see how
I could
you would end up
say
in that situation."
I have a friend who used to fart out of his penis.
And if I
That's
met
not
you,
you.
if I
That's
met
not
you just
me.
for the first time 5 years ago, I'd have been like, "Okay, pal, cute story." Now, having
I've
known
smoked
you,
crack.
every one of these stories is like, "Oh, yes."
I got into bed naked with.
that
Greg
that
Anderson
one,
and
that
his
one,
grandmother.
that one. Now,
Yeah.
that's a story you should share.
Yeah.
That's I don't know if Greg would want that story.
Your
out
statement,
there,
your statement, you would need to phrase it as, "I once laid in bed naked with Greg Amsinger's grandma,"
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and then people be like, "Whoa,
Whoa,
we got to
whoa,
hear
whoa,
this,"
whoa,
yeah.
whoa.
Which is true,
Which
and
is
you've
very
told it.
accurate. And Greg's told it.
Yeah.
Greg's told it on the radio,
Yeah.
so you should tweet that.
You should. That will be your story. That'll get maybe Harold Reynolds or someone will pick up on
Oh
it.
God. Dan Plesek.
Here's a few. There was one I saw that a girl, she went on a Tinder date and showed up, and the guy had no hands. He'd photoshopped hands into his Tinder profile.
Oh my.
So at least he wouldn't get handsy.
Okay.
Well, how was he able to swipe right?
He didn't have prosthetics.
I guess not.
That would be. I don't
think
even know.
photoshopping that's a little.
What-
That's not cool.
But here's now. That's talk about a sketch idea. We should do a sketch where maybe we can get Carly involved, where basically she shows up on this date, and the guy doesn't have hands, and she has to politely continue the date
Yeah.
without acknowledging the fact that he doesn't have hands.
Yeah, I met a cute guy on Tinder, got to the date. He didn't have hands. He'd photoshopped the hands into his profile.
Does she continue the date?
Probably, let's see. Or probably she continued. Here's a bit. Oh, she's a comic, and she has a bit about it. That's funny.
Yeah, she should write a sketch about that.
I'll
That's
have to
brilliant.
watch that.
Because I
For
want
those concerned, I asked for him to write the bit in my stand-up and later for approval of what I wrote with Total Veto. He gave me permission, found it funny. She didn't have to do that.
Oh, she
I'm
didn't.
also disabled. Happy to answer more. Oh, okay.
Oh, she didn't even got to say all that. That just sounds like something that's really funny. If a guy, no, that's not being anti-handicap. If you swipe on a guy that has hands, and then you show
Somebody
up to the date
tweeted-
and he doesn't have hands,
Yes,
if you bring
yes.
up the fact he doesn't have hands, that does not make you anti-handicap.
Don't say handicapped in this
That's
situation. Somebody asked, but how did he Photoshop the pic? ... She said, look, you can ask the question, but I don't have the answer. She said, this dude is married now with a kid and is proud of his hand situation. I was just more flabbergasted he thought this would work. And while he was sweet, it was just absolutely hate
He
the
could have had
dishonesty.
he could have had a friend do set up his account.
Yeah, but it seems like that would be a little distracting throughout the date.
But that's what I want. Like, because, there are things like when you meet somebody for the first time after online dating, they may not exactly look the way that you thought they did, but you continue on with the date and you just move past it because that's just the way it works. And if you use that same mindset, I wonder, could you do the same if you showed up and your date didn't have hands? Because I would
Hey,
imagine that's.
here's the difference. A dude, he'd still
Oh,
he'd
no
still
doubt.
sleep with a handless woman.
That is, a guy would not.
He'd see it as an opportunity. He'd be like, all right, I just got to hand up on you.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said it.
This is from Father Joseph VH on Twitter. Me at age 22. I would like to close my savings. Banker, how can we keep your business? Me, you can't. B, what bank are you switching to? Me, I won't be banking anymore. Banker, but where will you be keeping your money? Me, I'm going to give it away, enter a monastery, and take a vow of poverty. Banker, oh. That's his story. Again, that's from Father Joseph VH.
That's
on
hilarious.
Twitter.
Oh.
Here's
that
another
is-
good one. I once served an iced tea to Arnold Palmer. I don't know if this is true. It feels like a joke. My story will be complete when I'm able to serve an Arnold Palmer to iced tea.
Oh.
And then he tagged iced tea. Said, waiting for you, dude.
Brilliant! Oh, Twitter, you still got your fastball. Oh, that's pretty good stuff. That is.
I'm just going to keep reading these. Emily Cheyenne. I met this dude on Tinder and asked what his last name was. He told me, then replied, You doing a little background check? You might find out I'm a murderer. Just ignore that with a kissy face. Okay, so good sense of humor. Well, I Googled him and he's an actual murderer.
Oh God,
Oh wow.
I'd like to know his name now.
Oh no.
Yeah, right? You'd get the full name, the 3 names.
God.
And then
that's
he
scary.
put a kissy face with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes.
Ooh.
But would you continue? How would you react in that woman's situation if you're?
Would you rather go on a date with a murderer or a person with no hands?
What she look like though?
Mm-hmm. I mean,
But
what
that's
kind
what-
of murder are we talking
To
here?
Chris's point, that's kind of what we're talking about here. I can see it. I definitely can see myself going on a date and she has no hands, but she looking fine. And me going,
Here, I got
I'm
off-
not getting up and immediately leaving the date. Let's put
Yeah.
it that way. I get past that little fib. That was a little. She got creative online. But if she looking like roast beef in the chin,
Royce says that sounds like a lot to handle. How about this?
Mm-hmm.
I got off a plane once because I knew it would crash. And it did.
Who said that?
At
That's Final Destination.
M2 Thea,
That's-
Emily Andress.
that's dark and
She's
unnecessary.
got a blue check mark, too. huh?
That's dark and completely unnecessary. You could have left that story off the internet. There's no need
I
to.
pulled a knife on a river trail rapist and won the 30-second stare down. That's from @bitter_German, and this was in Sacramento and really happened.
Wait, Sacramento? That's where the Golden State Killer was for a period of time, just outside.
Yeah, I don't know, fam.
Rex Chapman. I played on a team that beat the 95-96 Bulls, who went 72-10. I scored 39 points in that game.
Nice. Well done, Rex Chapman. Outstanding. That's
pretty good.
That's a good one. No, that's very good. That is, and that's what the kid call a small flex, Chris. That's a small flex. Rex Chapman reminding you all, I was a badass son of a bitch when I played in the league, and I went
There's-
up against some of the best.
There's so many blue check marks in this. This is great. Yeah. So I
Yeah, I
should
think
check it
if we
out.
would ever, and Gardner shares them at least 2-3 times a day. But yeah, if I were to take the time and think about some stories, and I may have shared a few even on this show. Yeah, there are probably 3 to 5 instances I think throughout your life where it is so insane that people would absolutely not believe it. I can name 3 or 5
Seth,
easily if you give me half a day.
Who created Seth MacFarlane? His story about missing one of the
Planes,
9/11
9/11
flights.
Mhm.
That's the craziest thing I've ever heard.
Make sure your boy Steve and Azizi sits this one out.
Let's not have Steve tell his story.
I was trying to think of some of the other ones I saw.
That's pretty. Those are pretty good. Those are very good. I don't think. I'm very curious. I have to find that comedian's set because I am curious as to how that played out. Because, like I said, it's an icebreaker. Hey, you ain't got no hands.
Uh-huh.
There was
Icebreaker.
a wild one that said, I once stole a safe from a man's house, found photos of him molesting children inside of the safe. He went and turned it into the police. The police said they found the safe and they told the guy to come pick it up. And then they both went to prison.
Jesus.
Because, and I looked further into it, the guy had done like 30 robberies and got caught up.
Damn, really?
Turned himself in though.
So yeah, a person. Ooh,
But they busted the guy, so that's good.
that's something though. You know, you've been doing the robberies, you've been burgling,
Mm-hmm.
but you find something,
Mm.
and you know
Like
that
that?
if you turn it in, it's gonna turn yourself in as well.
I like that.
And that's a
I-
decision.
I got one. I think of one on top of my head. I got one. 3 years ago, I was living in a country that elected a racist president.
There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's not unique.
Yeah.
There's a lot of those tweets.
Not really. Damn it!
Yeah.
That's why I'm not on Twitter, man. I lost it. I used to be able to bring the breaking ball, 12
Now,
to 6.
now you just have every joke everyone else does.
Yeah, I do. I done turned into Chris Denman.
Kind of yourself. You're the one who did it.
I did. Boo myself.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, check those out on Twitter. Again, the handle was a dribble of ink. Is that what it was?
That's pretty good. I like that. I like that. That's a good way to kick off the new year. Because yeah, I sincerely believe there are so many stories throughout our lives that we're just like, dude, that happened. But that's also a testament that we survived it as well. There are a lot of how the hell, what was that? If you were to count on, if you were to come up with a count, Gardner, how many, man, what was that moments do you think you've had in your life? You're now 40.
Yeah.
How many of those moments do you have where you look back and you go, wow, what was that?
Oh, well.
You don't have to go into detail what the moments were, but if you were to guess how many of those have existed throughout your lifetime.
You slept in a park before.
You did.
Yeah, but I don't look at.
You don't look at that one as like, wow, what was that?
If you tweeted, I once drank a bottle of vodka and slept in a park.
Yeah.
That's, you know.
See, but yeah,
consistently.
It doesn't cross my mind that way, though.
Really?
I was just trying to get along with it all. So it's not.
But you still don't go, what was that?
Maybe the dumpster one. I would've.
Okay.
We have a friend, and she wouldn't mind me saying this, but she dated Todd Wellemeyer and Jacob Bell.
Yeah, I remember that.
Todd Wellemeyer
Yeah.
and Jacob Bell. Like,
I was like, I remember
do
that. I
you
was
think they
like,
would
are you literally just dating free agents that are coming to town? You're like,
hilarious St.
Yeah,
Louis
yeah.
athlete.
I was like, you're literally dating guys who like sign 1 or 2 year deals with I see your strategy. Smart.
Jacob Bell was rich, man.
And that she was smart in her dating approach. She got guys that got that guaranteed money up front and that she knew weren't going to be around long term. So again, here for a good time, not a long time.
Not mad at it.
I was never mad at her about that because we got hooked up.
I don't know, maybe 10?
That's fair. I would have guessed. I would have said between 8 to 10.
Yeah.
8 to 10 moments you're thinking of?
Because I would
Yeah.
say I have at least 4 to 6.
Where you go like, ooh, whoops.
Yeah. And I think that's fine. We should acknowledge that going into the new year. Because sometimes people look back on the past and just, and it's not always good because sometimes it can be triggering. But I think it's fine to highlight moments where you're just like, what was that?
Yeah.
Because we all have that, We've all overthrown the receiver. We
Boy, have
right. We have all we have all have had that moment. That's why when I see athletes like just lose it, he did it on a court. I've done it inside of a court.
that guy, one of the guys from the Malice at the Palace, like, Ron Artest punched me. That'd be good.
yes, get that guy on Twitter, man. And Steven Jackson spoke to this, and I think Ron Artest, I don't know if he legally admitted it, but yeah, he hit the wrong guy. He went after the wrong guy. Steven Jackson on his podcast with Matt Barnes talked about this. He was like, yeah, Ron went after the wrong guy. And so I hope that guy's out there and maybe, I don't know if he signed an NDA after, I would imagine, a nice lawsuit, but I would love to hear that story. Yeah, man, I just went to the game, Pacers, Pistons. I came back from the bathroom because I remember I left my umbrella under the seat. Fight had broken out. Ron Artest punched me in my face. Oh, you were the guy.
I want Barack Obama to troll a little bit with this
Ooh,
content here.
what
And
would
just
be a good
quote
troll?
tweet it and say, I was actually born in Kenya, but somehow became U.S. president.
That would be, if there was ever a time where the world needs an icebreaker, needs a nice hearty laugh, an international laugh, that would do it.
You'll
Somebody DM him, Chris.
Now you'll support the pro wrestling approach.
Well, when you're an
That'd be the ultimate pro wrestler.
I am all for presidents going pro wrestler when they're ex-presidents. I'm all for Clinton and Obama just really milking it because there are no real consequences.
Yeah, but I mean, Donald Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, that's true. So it's
he
factual.
did it backwards. You're supposed to wait till
I know,
once you leave the office to become the professional wrestler.
I know fight stories are lame
Almost
and
had it.
everybody always kind of rolls their eyes at them or whatever, but
Okay, we can
I'll
do
just
that.
say this. You can. It is funny. I should tweet him because I'm sure he'd think it's funny and he wouldn't remember it. I was in an altercation behind a bar and looked up, and Ben Askren was 2 feet away, looking down, watching, and I was like, "Hey Ben, stay out of this. Don't you worry about this." Very recognizable with the giant
Yeah.
blonde afro.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Episode.
Did you fight harder then?
Yeah, I was like, "How's this look, Ben?
There you go. Gotta
That's-
show off.
Yeah, your ground game's is way better than this, but you can't punch like this,
Yeah.
can you?" That's what I said.
Is that
yeah,
you were
in
at
the
least
moment.
thinking?
Yeah,
Did I look cool?
I remember- no.
Did I look cool in front of Ben?
in the moment, I was like, "Please don't rip my head off."
Trying to think of some that I might have overlooked.
I'm sure there are a few.
There's things I overlooked.
And when I say it's a moment essentially that you kind of know how you got into them, and then they just spiraled way out of control.
Is this one
They
of
don't all
those-
have to be bad. Either.
Is
They don't have to be bad, no. But
It's
yeah,
like in that
That's fun.
in the
though.
movies where something weird and all that happens and you pop in. You're probably wondering how I ended up
Yes.
here.
Yes.
Like one of those moments.
there are definitely a few moments. Yeah, there are definitely a few moments, and most of them definitely happen in college and mid-20s.
I'm sure there's stuff when I was drinking where I'm just not even thinking about.
If I
No,
could,
yeah.
Like-
if
Yeah, I
could-
agree.
yeah.
I agree. with
I
you,
remember drinking and I just met the guy for the first time, and was a friend's ex-boyfriend, and he and I hit it off just over drinks, and we ended up breaking into the pool in Clayton at Shaw Park,
That's hilarious.
going up to the highest dive up there,
Yeah.
like where that was actually like not allowed. Like we climbed the wrought iron fence.
Yeah.
And so I got crotches going over these wrought iron fences while we're drunk,
Yeah.
trying not to impale ourselves. And then we just go all the way up to the platform and then dive into the pool, then crawl back out, and then end up at Tiffany's Diner to meet the rest of the group. So it's like just something stupid like that. It's like, what are you doing?
I have a good one, and it's only good because people are obsessed with him. Dave Mustaine. Do you know him?
Mm-mm.
He's a guitarist.
He was a founding member, one of the original members of Metallica,
Mm-hmm.
and then he started the band. Dave Mustaine. Oh, come on, what's the damn?
Ooh,
He's got
Rolling
a-
Stone.
No.
Good job, Travis.
Oh, come
Rascal
on.
Flatts.
No, it's a huge metal band. Megadeth. I'm an idiot.
Damn it, I couldn't get all of them in. Be fine.
Yeah. That was a good idea,
good
though.
try? Okay.
Yeah, I would have interjected, but I wouldn't let you try to have that.
Once jabbed me with a pronged guitar.
Damn.
I won't say the other thing he did. He asked me if I had anything that I won't say.
Well, I think
Cocaine?
we gotta put the
I didn't say
we
that.
gotta put the context clues together.
Yeah.
He asked if
he
he had
asked the guy with the nose twitch.
Was
I
it
got-
cocaine?
Yeah, he asked you for some toilet
allegedly,
paper.
and I was like, and I was so taken aback. I was like, what? And he's like, you got, and I'm not saying it. You said that, Gardner. And then he asked me again if I had. I was like, why would you? Oh, no, I don't have. He's like, oh, okay, thanks. Yeah.
Well, he at least picked up on something like that. That
You know how many times I've been asked if I need or if I have because my nose twitches? In the grocery store, I stopped going to the Schnucks on Grand and Gravois because like 5 different dudes came up to me at different times like, you need some? I was like, what?
yeah.
I didn't
Do
know
you?
there was a signal. I
I've
didn't know there
never-
was
I've
a
never
signal.
done- I've
Do
never
people
done it.
just randomly just? Are there that many dealers where if you just go to a random grocery store and your noses twitch, like several people just, hey man, like you need something? Is that many people just dropping off cocaine in the city? Damn. That is
Don't
crazy.
rub your nose after
No,
you say
I'm just
that.
saying. I just can't believe people would find you and bring you
Did
this
Quint-
particular drug if you just have a weird nose twitch.
Were you on Mizzou's campus at all when Quinn Snyder was coaching there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just curious.
What a nice man.
That is.
That's a, now,
you
you want to talk.
That's a better case than some police departments.
But
make
you
for
want to talk
people.
about a story that's true that you wouldn't think is
Oh
true.
boy.
That's not fair.
Shiloh
and
bath-
don't ever like.
Shiloh bathroom. Is that what you're talking about?
And not only this, don't ever doubt the sacredness of keeping secrets in Columbia, Missouri.
For kids having
we
for
kept
kids,
secrets, man. We kept big secrets in that city.
for kids having big mouths, social media
Yes.
probably changed it all. But
Sure.
For kids having big mouths, the Michael Sam stuff was
Brilliant.
known for years.
For years.
It stays within that town. They're like they don't want to tell the adults.
They don't.
Yeah.
It's really funny. Like
There
yeah,
were
the Quinn
alleged-
Snyder
There were
story.
alleged stories of him doing some real partying at very, very busy bars.
Look, Quinn Snyder's having a very successful NBA career. I'm incredibly happy he's turned his life around. I think a man made a mistake in his past. He was in and over his head, but those stories, what we many witnessed from his time, and this
Allegedly.
is not just, and also allegedly, sure. And I'm not going to go into detail what people allegedly witnessed, but let's just say it's
What did they
mighty.
allegedly witness?
It's mighty ironic that everyone from higher ups in the university and the guy that works at Fieldhouse have same stories about Quinn Snyder's time in Columbia.
Like what?
Like you
Hey,
know,
hey,
he-
don't forget. He's trying to get backdated sanctions.
No, but
over there.
essentially what I'm saying is like credit to the city of Columbia. They
What secrets
That's
did
why
they
I
keep?
was.
that's why I was so mad
snitches.
about-
They don't be snitching.
That's why I was so mad about Gary Pinkel getting the DWI. I was like, for all
Yeah.
the stuff you fuckers cover up, this guy has a half a glass of wine too much, and you give Pinkel a DWI. It
I
made
only
me
gave him
so-
a DWI, man. Ended that man's marriage.
Yeah. They blew up his spot, didn't they? I forgot about that.
They blew up his spot.
The girl was really attractive too.
She was fine.
She was like our
fine.
age.
Yeah, she was. I think she worked at the news station at
Yeah.
one point. Yeah.
Pretty tall too.
Yeah, nobody. Hey,
I
man.
forgot.
GP, are you with me? I hear you, bro. Hey, you win a Cotton Bowl, you can get whatever the hell you want.
I
Do
don't
what you
think
do.
that's how it works.
I think you win a Cotton Bowl.
You get any white chick you want.
you
get a
beat
divorce.
Kansas in the last Kansas Mizzou football game. You can get whatever you want.
I don't think that's how life works.
All right, we're going to take a break before we get a lawsuit. Again,
And what did you say Quinn Snyder did? I didn't
Dr.
hear you.
Ed, not in today. Some jackass broke into Hillside and caused a fire.
And we're gonna hunt you down.
All the animals and people are okay, but he is not going to be in. Carly Lawrence is about to pop in, play some dogs on film. I have to check out for a meeting. I'll be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. Don't forget, Sophie's Comedy, 8 o'clock is when it ends. I can't think. 6 o'clock is when it starts. 4 o'clock specials. Sophie's right here in Grand Center, 3224 Locust. Join us. Angela Smith, she's moving to San Francisco. One of her last shows right here in town. Happiest Hour. We've got a great lineup this week. Going to be a lot of fun. Jack Daniels presents that, and we've got Schlafly specials as well. So join us there, and then we'll have some fun on this Thursday. We'll take a quick break. It's We Are Live. We'll be right back.
welcome back to We Are Live. I guess you can say the show has gone to the dogs.
That's stupid.
Joining us in studio, boys and girls, none other than Carly Lawrence, and of course, world famous Barb.
Look at the
Oh.
camera.
Oh, yeah. Is that good for you,
You're
Barb?
like a pageant mom there, Carly. Look at the camera.
Smile, do a turn. Show them your best side.
There you go, Barb. Yeah, that's what we like to see on this YouTube channel.
Goodness, split.
Yeah, that's nice. Carly Lawrence, of course, in-game host for your St. Louis Blues.
One of them.
Local comedian. We're fellow dancers, Carly and I. We both
Yeah.
have danced.
And Bar.
We both have danced in front of NBA players. So I think that makes
You've
us fellow
danced?
dancers.
I got paid for it.
And she was paid. I, on the other hand, was
Was
asked
not.
to leave the building.
Do you have a go-to dance move, Travis?
Oh. Is
That
that why
right
they
there?
kicked you out?
Well, I didn't have clothes on.
I assume. Oh, yeah. Carly, you probably don't have a go-to dance move just because you have such a variety in your repertoire, right?
And she has this thing called talent. She
Yeah.
has that, so that helps.
And I'm wearing many more clothes than I was asked to when I was paid.
NBA players, you have a dress code. For everyone else, wear absolutely nothing.
Uh-huh.
Love that.
How long were you dancing for?
4 seasons.
For 4 seasons? I didn't realize it was that long.
Yeah.
4 seasons for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that long.
It was. Do you want me to say it again?
How many seasons?
4.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
You've had more time in the league than
Whole
half of the basketball players in
seasons.
the city of St. Louis.
She's had what?
She's had more time in the league than half of the great NBA players
To
that maybe come out of St. Louis.
Yeah, that's a good run.
You have a
Congrats.
longer run right now than Jason Tatum, technically. Tatum's been in the league for 3. Carly was in there for 4.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all. So
Not
technically,
bad.
you would have came at the end of your rookie contract. You should have got an extension. You should have got like a 5-year, $195 million deal from the Memphis Grizzlies. You were eligible for that. You didn't know that, did you?
I wish I got paid that much. Good God.
What was that like? Like, I mean, I know you don't have to give too many behind the scenes because I'm not asking you to be nosy and pry, but
No.
seeing that many individuals with that much money, yeah, I did. I'm going to be honest. How did they behave being so rich? NBA players that you were around.
Obnoxious.
Really? Was it like just like noticeable? Was it like a caricature? Just like, man, you don't realize how obnoxious you are, but you were just like, oh no, they're obnoxious people.
I don't know. I wasn't around them personally. Very often.
Okay.
I know some of them were a little more frugal with their money than others,
Okay.
but
Okay. I feel like you live like a god in Memphis if you're a professional athlete. That would cost of living in Memphis.
yeah.
That would have been fun.
To what? Live in Memphis?
Live in
To be incredibly rich and live in Memphis.
Oh, I think you'd be incredibly rich
I think
anywhere.
it'd be
and
fun to be incredibly rich and live somewhere
Yeah,
else.
so
Yeah.
that could be good
If you're
fun.
rich wherever you are, you're gonna find your fun.
Yeah.
You make your own.
I'd
fun.
rather be incredibly rich and not live in Memphis.
Yeah.
Would you live in an expensive city like, say, like San Francisco, New York,
I love
cost
Memphis.
of living?
Don't get me wrong. I love Memphis. Don't get me wrong. But
The only reason why I just bring it up in that regard is because I just think your money can go further.
Go-
Like you can
right,
buy
you go
like
further.
a
Yeah.
75-room mansion probably for $2 million in Memphis, whereas if you try to get, a loft in downtown Manhattan, that's like $30,000 a month.
Yeah.
So that's
Well,
my
an
only
issue.
thing.
Depends on.
But at that point, it depends on just what you care about.
Right.
Like, do you really care about living in a giant mansion, though?
I will say if you're
You know what I
uber,
mean?
yeah, absolutely, because if you're uber wealthy or rich and you live in one of these big cities, it is good to be rich in one of those big cities. Like it's good to be rich in Chicago. It's good to be rich in New York because the world is your oyster. Like you have so much access to everything when you have that much money.
Because I would rather spend my money more on experiences rather than my
Agreed.
housing.
That's a good
So
point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. That's crazy how much money people will spend though, ultimately on a house. I saw Jay-Z and Beyonce spend $91 million on a home, and I'm like, I think they have 3 kids. 3 kids.
Well,
So
then,
it's a
then
five-
they're able to isolate themselves, find privacy, and stuff like that. That's what you're buying your privacy, buying your
That's a good point.
isolation at that point.
And I guess that's worth it. You
I
can't
would
put a
agree
price
with
tag on that.
Carly and the experiences part. Like, I would even go to a more expensive city, but maybe like my housing wouldn't be.
Lavish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and huge.
Interesting.
I could go like I would maybe San Diego, but maybe I'm investing more in a boat.
Like right now, I kind of live in a little bit of a dump
Uh-huh.
situation, and my money, I spend a lot more on Postmates
Oh.
Because that's what brings you the most happiness.
rather than living in
In
like
a,
a
in a
nicer.
very nice. No, I kind of am the
Yeah.
same way. I would like to. I don't want to spend my last dollar just simply with living lavishly. As far as if I could spend that last dollar on a really positive experience or a memorable experience for that. So I would spend my last dollar probably on maybe a sporting event, say like the Super Bowl, the World Series, as opposed to a 2-bedroom flat in Clayton.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
don't
so I
even
would
know.
rather spend my last dollar on that than as opposed to live. That's just. I mean, if you're gonna go broke, I don't want to be reminded of why I'm broke.
Yeah.
Walking to this expensive ass house with all this damn property tax I got to pay every damn year.
Well, it
This
depends on
fat
where you
ass
live.
mortgage.
Depends on where you live.
And then again, I guess if you're making that much money, you're really not paying attention to things like bills. Must be nice.
Yeah. It's a different life that we think about once every few months.
I actually don't get Postmates that much.
You know, I've never used.
I'm trying to figure out where my money actually goes.
They do that thing now at your bank, and it's
Really?
their way of helping you save, of course. But nothing is more you're a shitbag than when they show you the pie chart of where all your money is being
Oh, yeah.
spent, and you see this fat ass piece of the pie that goes towards you.
My Bank
eating
of
fast
America
food.
app does that.
Gardner, you spent 75% of your money this week on fast food. Thanks, bank. I knew I was there. I know that happened. Shit, you ain't got to tell me.
I know, yeah. Please don't throw this in my face.
Not these words that I did that in my bank. I was in New York. I get it. All I do is eat at bodegas.
Yeah. Oh, you just wanted to say bodega
I
to sound
did.
cool.
I love
I could
bodegas.
carry it over into the new year. Carlos, it's good to have you in. Thanks for joining us. Chris is off and away, taking care of business for the We Are Live and Midcoast family. So Carly is kind enough to join us today.
And Barb.
And Barb. Barb didn't have a choice, I feel like, in the matter.
And she wanted to come. She wanted to see her Uncle Travis and her great Auntie Gardner.
Carly was looking so forward to saying that and looked right into my eyes when she did so.
You do look like a great auntie.
She looked right at me and just.
Where else was I supposed to look? Inside.
It feels like you're doing
And her
that.
great Auntie Gardner.
I want that beautiful niece of yours as she gets older to refer to you as great auntie Gardner.
Great Auntie Gardner. Well, we could probably make that happen.
Auntie Gardner.
I'll make that suggestion. I'm sure my brother would be more than willing to go along with that.
How cool has it been, by the way, being an uncle?
It's different. I smile while holding a child
Yes. How crazy is that,
and
right?
sing her songs
Yeah.
and get yelled at for the songs I sing to her. But I feel that she needs these songs and she needs to learn more. And
What do you sing?
Like "Creep" by
Oh,
Radiohead.
Jesus Christ, you can't sing that song.
Rake Me by Nirvana?
Don't you guys
I'll do
get-
"Closer" by Nine Inch Nails here
Ah,
soon.
Jesus,
But more of a lullaby type though. Maybe that's it. You know how they
lullaby. You know how they do the jazz hip hop.
Well, that's
you
what
wanna
I'm
do the
saying.
lullaby pop songs.
Or they used to do like I know Paul Anka and Richard Cheese did like pop songs but in lounge styles. Maybe we need like pop song or more popular songs, not necessarily pop songs, but even alternative songs sung in a lullaby style for children, if that's not already out there.
Well, I forgot the choir that did the trailer for Social Network.
I think a Belgian choir.
Yeah, they do.
Solicini Brothers. Something
Yes,
like
I
that.
think you're right. And they do what they did to Creep for other songs as well. So they do other covers as well
Yeah.
for pop songs. So maybe you could do that.
So yeah, just
That would absolutely
a
work.
lullaby version of this more popular songs that we've listened to, especially if you dig into the '90s. I think you could have some fun with that. I think Billie Eilish's songs now would translate well to lullaby form.
Billie Eilish is just a star.
So I think you could have quite a catalog to
Just
make
a
it.
star.
It'd be like jock jams back in the day. People loved jock jams, right?
Are you comparing Billie Eilish to Jock Jam?
No, I'm just comparing like compiling
They have.
songs.
I think you're comparing Billie Eilish to Jock Jams.
She's not like Gary Glitter.
Billie Eilish is the Jock Jam of our generation.
Hey, wait a minute.
What?
No, goodness. I don't know how Billie Eilish would feel about that.
What is happening?
Never mind. I
don't think anybody wants to be the Jock
I
Jams
don't
of
think
any
you've
generation.
thought any of this through.
No, it's just
Gardner.
compiling a group of songs together that normally wouldn't be on one album, but then you find a way to put them on one album, and that's what you would be doing here. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I think you need to think this through and then circle back around to this.
I think I'm having a thought shower right now, and it seems like a really good idea.
Well, would you do one for?
I think you should take a shower in the privacy
mm,
of your own.
This is a thought
Privacy.
shower. A thought shower is public, or it can be. It can be. You can choose to do it in privacy, but it helps to have it in the public forum.
well, let's get Carly's thoughts on what we talked about briefly last hour. Is that how many you think? Wow, that happened. Moments do you've had in your life throughout your lifetime? Like when you look back on certain situations, go, wow, that did happen. How many of those moments do you think you've had? Gardner said 10. I said between 4 to 6 of those moments. Carly's like, I've had 7 this month already, and it's January 7th.
I've had 10 this morning.
I think it's good to get it. I think there should be a day in America where we just go, yeah, man, 8 years ago, I was on that bullshit. We need a day of cleansing in America where we all just go, all right, man, 6 years ago, I fucked up. I owe you $45. My bad. Everybody needs a day where we just simply go, I was supposed to do something, or I
You're getting
ate a
close to
misstep.
a purge kind of thing here.
It's the closest I think we can get without someone maybe physically getting hurt.
Okay.
But I think America,
'Cause
what
the way
happens
the way
is
you were talking there about a cleanse and everything like this, I'm like,
not that far. But I think we are at that. I think America has a lot of stuff we don't talk about. We have built up inside, and I think that's why a lot of us, most of the country, is walking around pretty pissed off. And I think we need a day where we're just like, I'm still mad about my ex-boyfriend sleeping with my roommate. Fuck him. We need one of those days where we can just get it out in the open. We're like, and it feels good when you say it out. Like, because you feel like an ass when you keep it bottled up inside.
Isn't that called going to therapy?
Yeah, that costs
why
money.
not just go to a therapist?
No, you can do that
That's
too,
what
but
I
I just
said.
I just want to do it as a community.
Carly, I was just simply agreeing with you.
She's so just like, I said that, Gardner.
I literally
Did I not tell you I had 7 what the what moments
I
already
literally-
this morning?
I literally just said that. He says, why don't you just go to a therapist?
I
literally just
said-
repeated what I said.
No. I said, yeah. Why not go to a therapist?
Why not go to a therapist?
That was me agreeing with you.
Okay.
I think about this suggestion of just putting everything out in the world, and I remember social media exists. So maybe we already do that as a country. Never mind.
Yeah.
We're just
It's
all,
like cyber therapy.
yeah, it's cyber therapy. Where we just all like,
That's free.
That is free.
Speaking of social media, I know
We
that
figured it out.
We fixed it.
Jordan Bennington and Justin Bieber have had a little thing going here.
I see that.
recently.
Beeps was actually very good at the hockeys. The
Is
video I've seen, he's pretty good at the hockeys.
Yeah, they playing down. I
No,
always wondered
no,
that.
I've seen him. I mean, if there was
Okay.
ever an opportunity to knock Justin Bieber out, I would imagine the people who play with him would have taken that shot. But he seems to be doing fairly well. Now, is he going to participate in the All-Star game this year?
Well, he's got. It seems like that him and Bennington are going to make some sort of video.
Wait, is Bieber coming to the loop?
I would think so.
Maybe Danny needs to head on out to Centene.
So, are you excited for these festivities that are going to be surrounding the All-Star game coming up here?
Yeah. I don't know what my role in anything is because the NHL.
Yeah, it's the NHL runs the show.
Yeah, they bring in all their
Yeah.
own people for all the things.
Yeah.
and-
Oh, really?
hmm
I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that.
so it's apparently it's the NHL's thing. That's why, as people have asked about, shouldn't there be some more billboards and things going up? And people are like, no, it's the NHL show. That's the NHL's kind of that's kind of their thing. So
Huh.
yeah, a little bit different, I guess, than Major League Baseball does their All-Star game when the Cardinals had it.
Yeah.
But the Cardinals, I know they put
2008.
a lot of promotions behind it. But yeah, I'm very curious to see how this all shapes out. I love these kind of events when they come to St. Louis, even for like 3-4 days. It should be fun.
It's more, and even not the game itself, but there's just stuff surrounding it.
Yeah.
Is what I'm always curious about. Like, what do they have going on with, there's always going to be a fan experience or
Right.
whatever there is. And I never know what they're going to have there. Like, taking slap shots or whatever. Because there's like the one where, for baseball, we're like, hey, face a Randy Johnson fastball. Okay. Let me try and hit a 100-mile-per-hour slider or something here.
You try to stop a
And you're just like, you
107
drop
mile
the
per
bat
hour.
and run out of the batting cage.
Right.
Like, you get to dress up in a goalie outfit
Yeah.
and try and stop like a 100-mile-per-hour slap shot or something like that.
That's a liability.
Yeah, no, I know. It seems very dangerous. But how real do you want it to get?
Now, can I say I am a little bit nervous about the All-Star game coming here, only because St. Louis is going to do this thing. They're going to do the thing when they did it with the PGA Championship. They're going to get very insecure. They're going to get very sensitive. They're going to start having to remind people, like, we're not bad, actually. They're going to do this thing where they go, see, St. Louis can hold major sporting events. St. Louis is going to do that thing, like when they see their ex-girlfriend out in public, where they, like, try to suck their stomach in and, do a couple of crunches in the parking lot before she sees you. Like, that's what St. Louis is going
Why
to do
would
for the
you do
NHL All-Star
crunches?
game. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Not to say that I'm speaking from personal experience, but what
'Cause,
St. Louis is going to
the
do.
impact of those crunches is, I mean, there's nothing there immediately.
We're going to see the ex-girlfriend as we're shopping in the Galleria, and then we're going to try to deepen our voice and try to hide our hairline and pretend that we aren't 25 pounds overweight and be like, no, things are good. It's going well. I
How
just
long
don't
ago
want to
did
see
this
that.
happen to you?
No comment. But St. Louis is going to do that. We have a thing where we always can't just enjoy the moment. We have to prove to everybody else that we're not as bad as it seems. Am I crazy in that, Gardner?
It depends. I'm sure. I mean, I don't think we're gonna go around calling it like Hockey Town, USA, or whatever.
Right. But it felt like I talked about this when over the summer. Last summer I just thought, enjoy the Stanley Cup. Stop worrying about what fuckers in Toronto and Ottawa think of our parade and celebration. Like, who cares? Go out, get drunk, and be happy. Your organization finally won a Stanley Cup. Everyone's worried, like, the PGA Tour is here in St. Louis. Enjoy it. Stop worrying about what Jim Nantz thinks on the CBS broadcast.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very weird thing that we do when something major comes to St. Louis, where we're just like, we have to impress the outer town. Enjoy yourself. If they like it, great. If they don't, what are you going to do? People are going to have their opinions about the city one way or the other. A lot of people are going to come in, even if it is a great time, we're going to still find a reason to shit on St. Louis.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. I think it takes away from you enjoying the experience when you do that. Have fun with it, St. Louis. Don't worry about all that other shit.
I would agree with everything you said there.
Oh, that's what?
Yeah. I mean,
That's not how this.
as long as you're making yourself happy, you're not hurting anyone.
Right.
Then everything's fine. It's cool. You don't need to prove anything. It's all right.
There you go.
Just
Good.
because if you are, then you're not having a good
You're
time.
not
anyway.
having a good time. It's like checking up on the ex.
Yeah, it's like, just enjoy yourself. That's all I'm asking. I want that
And your
for you.
hairline.
And your hairline. Like, thank you,
Carly,
Carly. Thank
yes.
you. Why, thank you. Is hairline important, by the way? Is that a thing girls like? Do girls like hairline?
I'm
Is that
probably,
a thing?
I'm
Like,
probably, I'm
Carly,
probably
do you
the-
care for hairlines?
Depends on the hairline.
Depends on how far
and
back the
the
hairline.
girl. And the mall that you're at.
Galleria. Does that matter?
Depends on the Galleria.
Depends on the time of day of the Galleria.
And-
What event is going on around the
Are they
Galleria?
wearing their glasses?
Is there a Jordan release at the Galleria going on at this time?
Okay.
Are they
Is
opening?
that still a thing?
It's more online now, but it
No.
definitely is a thing. The shoe culture in this country lets me know we need a recession. Because there are a lot of people making a lot of fucking money off freaking tennis shoes.
Yeah.
The guy got this much disposable income. Hey man, let me get a piece.
I'm a New Balance guy.
Of course he will.
Do you have a particular tennis shoe brand that you always go to, Carly?
I don't buy tennis shoes very often. So no,
Did you have a brand growing up?
not necessarily.
Me neither. my friends, we all come from kind of the social economic background. We grew up in the city of St. Louis. Parents did okay for themselves at the time as we were growing up, and getting things lavishly like $120, $150 tennis shoes just wasn't a thing that we could afford.
Mhm.
But now that my friends are older and they have their own money, like they are obsessed with it. They are out here online buying the $220 LeBrons, and look, they got it because they make it. But and a lot of my friends go, yeah, man, I couldn't have them as a kid, and so now I'm catching up for lost time.
I buy a new pair of shoes, like a tennis shoes like that, like
Look,
once every 2 years, maybe.
Really?
Carly, I hear you, girl. Because I have friends I have a friend, and he has a massive, awesome collection. Shoes are gorgeous, but he'll spend a decent amount of money on
I
some
wish.
LeBrons.
I tell myself, like, one day I'll be in that position where
Yeah.
I get nice things.
Sure.
I won't be sleeping on dog food pallets that I took behind the dumpster of Treats Unleashed.
Sleeping under a bench in a park like
I
that.
will be sleeping on a normal bed frame.
One day.
One day, I will look forward to those things.
I
Today's not that day.
Today is not that day.
Is the mattress okay though?
Oh, no.
It's just a bunch of bean bags inside of an air mattress.
No, they're old pillows.
They're just old pills sewn together. She's like, I wish it was sewn.
A mattress pad. I could show you a photo if you'd like.
Please don't. You don't have to. You don't have to.
I can pull it up right now.
It's okay. It's all
Is
right.
your back okay?
No.
Look, I've had scoliosis for the last 3 months, Gardner. Thanks
My
for asking.
chiropractor asked if I was in a severe car accident.
It's like, do you sleep inside of a trunk of a Prius?
The answer was no.
No, I do not.
I feel like a jerk.
I'm fine. I'm young.
That's essentially what you just have to bank on at a point when you're just like, hey, you know what?
We can
I
reverse.
got my age.
We can reverse these issues
Yeah, I just don't want it to lead to anything down the road.
with some back bends or something, which I don't do.
Would that help things? Maybe
I don't know. Maybe I can Google it.
we can watch a YouTube tutorial.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm young enough. I'll do that tomorrow.
Are you going to say the same thing to yourself tomorrow?
Yeah. Barb will remind me. Barb, write this
Barb
down.
will definitely remind you. Hey, girl, don't forget the lunch.
How long has she had the hoodie?
We bought that when I got her.
The hoodie one?
I feel like you bought the hoodie and then got the dog.
Maybe.
Which came first?
Which came first?
The hoodie or the Barb. The hoodie or the
Well, I
Barb.
got this
Barb.
cute hoodie for a dog. So
Hopefully her name's Barb.
Hope this works.
So you go around with Cinderella, like, put the hoodie on. Okay, we found the one. Makes sense. Speaking of dogs, would you guys like to play a game?
I like games, Gardner, and I like to play them.
I feel really vulnerable that you know my sleeping arrangement. And the whole world does. I forgot that this is,
Oh yeah, the whole world. All 6 of my cousins and Chris's parents.
I forgot that this was more than just us 3.
And the people that already see you at the bars as it is. So yeah.
We
Let's play a game.
we chatted about it last time though, I think too. And then we were setting you up a Reddit account or something.
Yes, I think that's what we're doing. Carly Reddit page. That's what we should do. Well, that's how you can definitely like build the lore of Carly, where we just have a group of random anonymous people on Reddit talking about how they've seen you across town,
I
how
do
they
need a
obsessed
new
across
Reddit
it.
name.
All right, let's do that then. Let's just have a account where it looks like we're stalking Carly and just following up on all her life, and it's just actually Carly feeding us information about where she's going to be throughout the day.
I
You
think
know what?
because didn't you accidentally give out your Reddit name?
I
last
did.
time?
Look, I did. I need to change that.
Barb, write that down.
Barb, write it
Barb,
down.
write that
Reminder.
down.
Boys
Write
and girls, it's
that
time to
down,
play
too.
America's favorite game. It's time for Dogs on Film! It's the first Dogs on Film in the Roaring 20s.
The new decade.
The new decade. You guys ready to kick off the new decade? Y'all ready for? Did y'all ever think 2020? When you was a youngin', did you ever like, oh man, I can't wait? 2020, I'm gonna be able to. Me and Dr. Spock, we're gonna be like, oh shoot, baby, transport me to this planet.
To
That
be
didn't
honest, I
happen.
never thought it'd make it this long. But here we are,
Yeah,
and now I have to deal with it.
yeah.
I did not live in a way that would allow me to be here this long, I thought. So now we're trying to figure it all out. But
That's what I compare the excitement from 20 years ago to now. Like, oh, 2020 in 2000.
Yeah.
2020 now. Ah, shit.
Yeah.
We're here.
I'm ready for 2021.
Yeah, Carly. Yeah, Carly said she's ready to fast forward already 12 months.
all right, we got dogs on film. We have 6 films.
Okay.
We will pit one film against another with 3 pairings, and they each have a theme to them. The first theme is wedding movies. The second theme is airplane movies.
Okay.
And the third theme is movies with a year in their title.
Okay.
Do they
So-
all have dogs in them?
No, that's a good question.
I'm just, here's the thing. We've been doing this for almost like a few months now, and we kind of
Ran
out.
dog movies?
Yeah.
we kind of ran a dog.
So
moves
it's
like
kind of like
12 months ago.
we do say maybe we should change the name of it to On Film.
But as we have Barb in here, we can still technically count this as dogs on film.
Yeah.
Because Barb's naturally going to help Carly. So
Now there might be dogs in these movies, but we don't go seeking them
we
out. or
don't go
trying to
seek.
find-
We would assume there was probably a service dog at some point offset in a lot of these films.
So we also have a tiebreaker. Now in the first 3 pairings that you use, you have to guess which one has a better score according to the venerable website, Rotten Tomatoes.
Mhm.
If you get it right, you get a point. So you can max out at 3 points. Now we do have a tiebreaker if you guys have the same score. And on that tiebreaker, you have to guess closest to the actual score.
Okay.
Now, throughout, I'll kind of decide if I want to let someone or everybody know that they're right or wrong. If I go right,
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
if I go wrong, that one.
That sounds like Barb.
I don't know if I've ever heard Barb bark. Barb bark. She's so.
She doesn't
calm.
bark. She doesn't bark. She just growls like that, like at my roommate's dog. If
Yeah.
my roommate's dog like talks to her.
She only talks to you, or she talks to the roommate's dog. I guess.
If my roommate's dog like tries to be like, "Hey Barb, can I bother you?" And then Barb's like, "No,
That's what she says. That's exactly what Barb says.
absolutely not."
Okay.
Barb says.
That's Barb.
Okay, so there's the game. And also, we have a little brief description of each one of these movies.
Now
in
this
case
part
you
I
haven't
don't know
seen
if Carly's had in a while, but the gentleman.
Oh, I love this.
Oh yeah, the gentleman that absolutely provides
I'm
us with
very
the
familiar.
brief. It is the great chat, and we're very happy that he made it to 2020.
it. Yeah,
Like
He's
that
a
is
little
the
sup-
that's the plot twist of the year.
he's always
already.
surprised himself.
He
And
used
we,
to fart through his penis, Carly.
yeah,
That's impressive.
Yeah.
yeah, he had to have surgery for it.
Mm,
So it's all taken care of now, though.
thank God.
So yeah, let's get to your first movie. Your first pairing is wedding movies. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go. Here's Sean. So it's been a little while.
Yes, it has.
Gonna be a little rusty.
Probably.
You gonna stumble through your words?
See if I can remember how to read. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Bridesmaids.
Huh?
Bridesmaids. 2011. Romance comedy. 2 hours, 12 minutes. Annie, Kristen Wiig, is a single woman whose own life is a mess. But when she learns that her lifelong best friend Lillian, Maya Rudolph, is engaged, she has no choice but to serve as the maid of honor. Though lovelorn and almost penniless, Annie nevertheless winds her way through the strange and expensive rituals associated with her job as the bride's go-to gal. Determined to make things perfect, she gamely leads Lillian and the other bridesmaids, Rose Byrne, Melissa McCarthy, Wendy McClellan, McClendon Covey, and Ellie Kemper, down the wild road to the wedding.
Yeah, you are rusty, aren't you?
Yeah, boy.
Yeah. He was struggling.
Wendy McClendon Covey, who of course one of our earlier guests in the early days of We Alive.
Oh, friend of the show.
Yeah.
All right, so your first movie is Bridesmaids.
Okay.
Going against
Next, we have My Big Fat Greek Wedding, 2002 indie film drama, 1 hour, 36 minutes. Everyone in the Portokalos family worries about Tula, Nia Vardalos. Still unmarried at 30 years old, she works at Dancing Zorba the Greek's restaurant owned by her parents, Gus, Michael Constantine, and Maria, Renee Kazan. After taking a job at her aunt's travel agency, she falls in love with Ian Miller, John Corbett, a teacher who is tall, handsome, and definitely not Greek. Tula isn't sure which will be more upsetting to her father, that Ian is a foreigner, or that he's a vegetarian.
How's your marriage?
It's fine. Kathy's in the other room crying. She's got a TV back there, yeah.
Is she watching something? We can
Probably, yeah. No, well, she's just back to crying.
And you're just leaving her and recording with me instead?
No, I've got obligations.
Well, you did leave her in an elevator once.
Well, not once, a couple of times.
Fire department was there, though.
Yeah, she's in good hands. She enjoys it. Firemen come, axes drawn, rescuing her.
I was there when he left her in an elevator once. But the fire department was there to save her. We were heading out for a road trip, so we needed to get going.
Jesus.
But yeah, that happened.
Yeah, I bet it did.
Uh,
So we have Bridesmaids,
yes, and My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
two very popular films. I saw Bridesmaids in theaters. It is very, very funny. But I have a feeling that the hype that is surrounded Big Fat Greek Wedding, so I'm going to go with that.
Carly, what is your choice?
I don't like how the description said still unmarried at 30.
Oh,
Ah! I didn't even pick up on that.
I did.
That's sexist as hell!
why does that bother you?
I'm not 30 yet, but I will be 30
Uh-huh.
at some point.
So there's still time for a rich man to fly on through St. Louis and be like, hey, baby girl. And then you won't even have to worry about the description anymore.
I'm going to go with Bridesmaids solely because that didn't sit well
You
with
get 'em, girl.
Barb or myself.
Okay. Bridesmaids for Carly. My Big Fat Greek Wedding for Travis. Carly?
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
Correct.
Oh, wow.
My Big Fat Greek Wedding, 76. Bridesmaids, a 90.
Bridesmaids was very funny. I just assumed that I gotta read the room. I'm an idiot.
So it's 1-0. Carly leading a game of dogs on film or on film.
On phone.
1-0 after the first round. We go to our second pairing, which is
Dang, Barb, that's rude. Your mama is trying to thank you. There you go, Barb. Your mama trying to kiss you.
there you go. She moved away for a moment.
She
That
showed
was
you like,
funny.
I am on TV, Mom.
I thought
Please
she was going to
relax.
Today's a very vulnerable morning for me.
For you?
Well, I'm glad Barb decided.
Yeah, I've revealed a lot.
Welcome to We Are Live. That's what we do every day. You've not seen the show. That's what we do.
She's still
She's
pondering on that mattress
She's thinking
thing.
about that pallet.
I know, I'm never going to find a suitor.
She lives on a pallet.
I didn't know the description of My Big Fat
All
Greek
right,
Wedding.
and
was
look,
going
man,
to
I'll
do
tell you
that.
this.
I'm
I'll tell you
sorry.
this right now, Carla. Ain't nothing sexier than women on pallets.
Stop
Just saying,
saying
man,
it.
man,
Stop
man, I'm
saying
just
it.
saying.
Maybe people are just now tuning in.
Yeah.
They didn't know it.
Oh, she live on a what? Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
All right. Airplanes.
Okay.
The flight machines. That's your next pairing.
That's our theme. Okay, here we go. What do you got, Barb?
Carly's up 1-0. Here we go with your first one.
I won last time, too.
You're a pro.
I
at this.
win this like every time I
Yeah,
win.
you're
good.
pretty damn good.
Then we have Flight, 2012, drama thriller, 2 hours, 18 minutes. Commercial airline pilot Whip Whitaker, Denzel Washington, has a problem with drugs and alcohol, though so far he's managed to complete his flight safely. His luck runs out when a disastrous mechanical malfunction sends his plane hurtling towards the ground. Whip pulls off a miraculous crash landing that results in only 6 lives lost. Shaken to the core, Whip vows to get sober, but when the crash investigation exposes his addiction, he finds himself in an even worse situation.
You could be a pilot.
Could have been.
Got one part down.
What's that?
The drinking.
Then the drug
Okay.
Calm down there, Denzel.
Sean offered me blotter the other day.
I don't even want to know what that is.
There's acid of some sort.
Oh, Jesus, help us.
Well, Sean said, I'll pass this time. Maybe another time. All right. So flight going against
All right, next up we have Hot Shots. 1991, action, adventure. 1 hour, 24 minutes. In this spoof of Top Gun, former U.S. Navy pilot Topper Harley, Charlie Sheen, is haunted by an accident in which his father lost control of a fighter jet. When Lieutenant Commander James Block, Kevin Dunn, asked Topper to come out of retirement and help him complete a classified mission, Topper returns to active duty against the advice of his psychiatrist, Valerio Galino, and soon discovers that he may be a pawn in a devious arms manufacturing conspiracy.
Big day the other day.
What's that?
You turned 60 years old.
Oh, yeah.
right.
So you feel ragged in 3 long days. You know, because I work. And the days I work, I drink more than the days I'm off. You see, it's by nature, I suppose. Part of the job.
You drink more on the days you work
Yeah.
than the days you're off.
That makes sense. That oddly
shocked that I'm
makes sense.
60. I don't feel like it. I'm never going to grow up.
All right. So you have Hot Shots versus Flight. What you want to go with?
Gotta be Flight, right?
I was gonna say the first one.
Okay. You're both going Flight. You both are wrong. Flight, a 77. Hot Shots, an 83. According to Rotten
I
Tomatoes.
don't get Rotten Tomatoes. I do, but I don't. I get it's aggregate at the same time.
Yeah.
Even when I read some of the reviews, you know, I will say though, a lot of the critics who are top reviewers on Rotten Tomatoes are solid, but those scores are very weird.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we do the aggregate, we do it at the critic score or just the overall score?
The critic score.
Critic score, okay.
Yes,
All right,
critic
that makes
score.
sense. Because I think every audience score would be like 95 or something.
Yeah. So we have one pairing left.
Okay.
Carly in the lead, 1-0. This
All right.
pairing is movies with a year in the title.
All right, here we go.
Here's your first one.
1984. Drama, sci-fi, 1 hour, 53 minutes. A man loses his identity while living under a repressive regime. In a story based on George Orwell's classic novel, Winston Smith, John Hurt, is a government employee whose job involves the rewriting of history in a manner to cast his fictional country's leaders in a charitable light. His trysts with Julia, Susanna Hamilton, provide his only measure of enjoyment. But lawmakers frown on the relationship. And in this closely monitored society, there is no escape from Big Brother.
You know, the Battlehawks will start playing in the XFL here in
Boy,
St.
yeah, I
Louis.
can't wait for that.
You think you could be their PA announcer?
No, not good with names.
Like if they had
Like-
Al Pacino on there?
No, I mean, I'm just
Al
not-
Chapino!
Al Chapino. Yeah, I'm just not good with names.
Signorvi Weaver! Give me a touchdown, Battlehawks.
No. Touchdown, Battlehogs! Caw-caw! Caw-caw!
Go higher with the cook
I can't. Caw-caw. See, breaks.
Help him, Lord.
Yeah, I tried to get him an audition tape, but didn't work out. So it looks like Sean won't be the PA announcer for the XFL's Battlehawks. So your first movie, 1984. Here's your second one.
Next up, we have 2001, A Space Odyssey. 1968, fantasy, sci-fi, 2 hours, 44 minutes. An imposing black structure provides a connection between the past and the future. And this enigmatic adaptation of a short story by a revered sci-fi author Arthur C. Clarke. When Dr. Dave Bowman, Kirdulia, and other astronauts are sent on a mysterious mission, their ship's computer system, HAL, begins to display increasingly strange behavior, leading up to a tense showdown between man and machine that results in a mind-bending trek through space and time. Boy, I remember seeing that thing in the theater back in 1968. My grandmother took me and the boys, my brothers, to a matinee. And I remember walking out into the bright lit sun, and my grandmother goes, "What the hell was that?" I remember that to this day. What the hell was that? That was her review. That's the one that called me C-N. Name is S. My name is spelled S-E-A-N. What kind of name is C-N?
All right. Nice little story there from Sean about his grandmother. 2001, A Space Odyssey versus 1984.
1984.
1984 for Carly.
2001 Space Odyssey.
2001 Space Odyssey for Travis. Travis.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog.
No, I want to win.
The anguish in her no.
It was so childlike.
Like she would have just took something else
No.
from Carly. There's still overtime, pal.
So, why are you mad at me?
I can barely see Carly's face. What face is she making?
Stop staring angrily at me.
Ah.
Like it's my fault.
All right, what was the score on those two?
79 for 1984,
Okay.
and a 93 for 2001: A Space Odyssey.
I would have gone.
I have not seen 2001: Space Odyssey.
All right.
All right.
So we're at one apiece here.
Doc.
His grandma's story threw me off. His grandma being like, "What the hell was that?"
Oh.
All right, so
His grandma didn't have any comment. If his grandma left the commentary out of it.
So you went with Grandma's review.
Yeah.
she was
You
scoring.
were
grandma.
swayed by Grandma's review.
She led me astray.
Yes.
did.
I'll let the lid shut. Hey,
God,
man,
if Grandma would have just kept her mouth shut,
Yeah. Yeah.
you would have been all right.
I would have been fine. Whatever, move on.
All right.
Move on.
So we have a tiebreaker. You have to guess closest to the actual score
Whatever.
with the tiebreaker.
Okay, go on. I get it.
All right. Here you go.
Is this the tiebreaker?
Yep.
Tiebreaker. Man on the Moon. 1999. Drama, comedy, 1 hour, 59 minutes. Jim Carrey stars as the late Andy Kaufman, who was considered one of the most innovative, eccentric, enigmatic performers of his time. A master at manipulating audiences, Kaufman could generate belly laughs, stony silence, tears, or brawls. Whether inviting the audience out for milk and cookies or challenging women to intergender wrestling matches, he specialized in creating performances so real that even his close friends were never sure where the truth lay. So, on that note, I better get ready to go to the bathroom. A little gassy lately. I'm not sure what's going on. Could be gas. Could be the other
As long
one.
as you're not farting out of your penis again.
Well, that's been ratified. Been fixed.
You mean rectified?
Rectified.
Ratified.
All right. Well, I'll see you around. Bye-bye.
Yeah, ratified. All right. Closest to the actual score.
76.
76 for Man on the Moon for Carly. Travis?
Cost at 76.
Yeah, I did say 76. You heard it correctly.
Then I'm going 69.
69 for Travis. I just lost the damn score. Here it is. Okay. Actual score 63. So Travis with a nice win with a guess of 69.
Can I, because I'm in still the holiday spirit,
Carly's vulnerable.
What's the critic score?
That was the critic score.
Oh.
This is 63.
What was all the other scores?
For Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me look. I have to look it up.
if it helps?
I'm helping you out here, Carly. Because I know you're vulnerable this morning.
I'm very vulnerable.
Very.
I let out
So much.
all my nasty little secrets.
The audience score is a 79 for Man on the Moon.
Cool. Well, I still lost.
Here we go by the tomato meter. So, but I mean, that's like the first time you've ever lost in this game.
It
That's
is.
very true.
It is.
That's true.
So you have that too, kind of.
And it's better to love and lost than to not love at all.
Yeah, right?
Whatever. Yeah. Congratulations, Travis.
Ah. Why, thank you, Carly.
That was
Not
fun. I had a really fun time.
Till that
What
moment.
a fun game.
what a
where she
delightful.
went, no!
I think the no is what broke her. The no! 'Cause I think she thought she was just going to cakewalk through this bad boy and bam!
No, I didn't. There's no cake involved. So I
Is that why, by the way, is that why they call it a cakewalk? Is there always cake involved?
Let's go with that.
Okay.
Just because that might get you places in the future.
Okay.
Hey, Travis, we have a cakewalk coming up. Why don't you join us? You might be on time, actually, then, too.
Well, that's a good point.
I love cakewalks.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have one. We should have literally a cakewalk, and like every other block is cake.
I don't eat a ton of cake.
I got banned from a cakewalk one time
Why?
Why?
in my grade school at a fall festival because I wouldn't leave the cakewalk. I just kept like playing the cakewalk
Oh, Carly.
until I had like 5 cakes,
Oh,
and then the
my.
teachers were like, "Carly,
Carly, you can't have 5 cakes.
you need to like stop."
I mean, it's kind of hard to tell a kid
I got
to
You
not
have-
get more cake
I
at a
got
cakewalk.
banned from a cake.
Yeah.
You have a stack of like 5 cakes.
Yeah.
I'm not sure your parents are gonna let you take all of these cakes home. I got cake happy.
Now, was it all the same cake? Or
No,
was
they
it
were
di-
all different cakes. I was
Oh.
really excited about them.
I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, cakes was the thing. Like in school, like cake
They were like full
was-
cake. They were literally like full.
Yeah.
Full cakes.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were slice of
Oh no,
cake.
they were like.
Wait,
full
what?
cakes.
Wait, I missed that part. They were full cakes. What kind of private ass school you go to? Get the hell out of here, Carly. I'm up here trying to sympathize with your ass. Talking about getting slices of cake. You talking about whole ass cake. If you don't sit your selfish ass down somewhere, taking all them damn cakes.
Oh, I just like kept getting in line to do this cakewalk.
That-
Do you remember what kind of cakes they were?
Just different.
they were
kinds.
different kinds of cake.
One of them was like a pineapple upside down cake. One of them was like a
Jesus.
cheesecake. And
Oh.
then eventually, I had like 5 of them, and eventually the teacher was like, "Carly, you can't do the cakewalk anymore. Like you literally have 5 cakes. You need to save some for like the rest of the school."
Did you give them back?
Well, I kept my 5, and then when my parents
Oh.
came to pick me up, they were like, "You're only taking one of these with you.
Carly.
You're not taking all 5."
And this
Do you
What
remember
just-
which one you kept?
I think I kept the pineapple upside down cake
Okay.
Was this
because I was really into those at the time.
was this sophomore or junior year of high school?
This was when I was like in 5th grade.
Damn it. 5th grade. Carly, what is no, but that makes sense. I can't really be stunned by that because if you told somebody, hey man, cakewalk, get how many cakes you want,
There was like big like inflatable things to jump in. There was like so many more things. I'm just like cakewalk.
Yeah.
Zero it in on the cakewalk
I gotta say, like that's
the whole time.
that's pretty brilliant.
That's all I remember about this fall festival.
Was just this
Sounds
cake.
like you had like a mental break, and all you could think about was cake.
I was just like, yeah, I'm here for the cake.
Were you as
walk.
motivated to get that many cakes, or you just when you saw the cake, you just figured I had to get more?
All of it.
Okay, so
Carly,
you
you-
knew going in that it was a likelihood that you was gonna take multiple cakes with you.
I was just like, oh yeah, this is my night.
Carly,
It was kind of like going into a casino and you win
Yeah.
once, and then you're just like,
I got the fix.
oh yeah,
you got the taste.
I'm here.
Yeah. Carly,
Mommy's
do
home.
you
Like,
think you can eat all those cakes?
I
Mrs.
didn't
Thompson,
care.
do you think you could get the fuck out of my face?
I didn't. Yeah.
Because I'm about to try.
I'm about to give it a shot. I can't be mad at you at that. I like that makes sense when you're at that point. I'll probably do that shit now.
I do
Let me
know-
know there's a cakewalk down at the convention
there was a
center.
cobbler
I would
walk.
probably be there right now.
Yeah, if there was a
I had like
cobbler
a
walk, that
pile
would
of
be nice.
cakes off to the side.
Did you?
It doesn't take much for Gardner and I to generally get out and try new things. So if someone was like, hey guys, I don't know if you knew this, but between 10 and 12 down at the convention center in downtown St. Louis, there's a 2-mile cake. Outside you said 2-mile cake, we're gone.
Can I smoke while we're walking?
Yeah,
around?
that's all Gardner needs.
I asked them that.
It was, Carly, enough.
All right, Carly, you can smoke, but no more cake.
What was your most, like, as a child growing up, what was the experience where you were just, like, overwhelmed with what you were experiencing?
Me?
Because, like, I would say cake in a park was when I was like, this is all I want in life right now, is to run around like an idiot with my friends and eat cake.
No, I mean it was never cake for me.
Not a cake kid.
No, like I said, I'm a cobbler
You're a
boy.
cobbler boy.
I'm a cobbler boy.
I don't
know.
discriminate.
I don't know what it would have been. I'm trying to think of being. I'm sure I was overwhelmed a number of times.
Six Flags, first time at Six Flags as a kid.
That's a good call.
Turkey legs.
turkey leg. Like, damn, it's like 80,000 people walking around with turkey legs, and there's like, endless screaming and laughter. I just remember being wall to wall. Like, the roller coasters look 15
How do
stories
you end
tall.
up in the cute girls group to hang out?
Gotta figure that out. You see the
Six
cute girls. Where y'all
Flags.
going? Y'all want to go get a caricature picture?
Yeah,
Y'all want to get on Batman ride real quick?
yeah.
Where y'all going next? Like things like that.
What makes it look
Disney
cool?
World was also overwhelming as a kid. Disney World was surreal because, like, especially look, I grew up in city St. Louis, black kid. I always thought, oh,
Are you?
I did. I grew up, and now I sold out, and now I don't even think about the city
You're
anymore.
a good sellout.
Thank you. But what happened was I thought I'd never get to Disney World. It's something I just never thought about as a kid because we just didn't have the means like that. And then one day we went to Disney World, and it was like the
Oh.
coolest fucking thing in the history
I
of
used
cool.
to live close to Disney World as a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like a cakewalk away?
a cakewalk. It was a cakewalk.
Girl, where you stay? I'm like about a cake walk around from the Fox.
I've been there a number of times. Well, and then the Shamu incident too.
Oh yeah, you did have a Shamu, and you got you
Almost
got
fell
squirted
into-
on.
Well, I
Yeah,
almost fell
Shamu
into
squirted
Shamu's
on you.
mouth.
Yeah, that'd have been funny. What a story that would have
Because
been.
like you imitate the whale.
And you got dizzy.
Well, you do something and the whale imitates you. So I got picked out of the audience as like a 5-year-old. And so I'm doing the stuff they're telling me to do. And then the final one is to spin around and then throw the fish. And so Shamu's spinning around as I'm spinning around, and I'm getting closer to the edge of the pool. And then all of a sudden I stop and I'm like wobbling, and Shamu opens his mouth waiting for the fish. And I'm just like, oh, I'm going to fall in there. And so threw the fish and like walked back. I thought I was going to fall in Shamu's mouth. So be careful if you're feeding Shamu.
Thank God you didn't. You wouldn't be here today.
And knowing what we know about the
you, Carly.
documentary Blackfish, there was a strong likelihood you would have actually fell into Shamu's mouth.
Yeah. I don't know if they could
Because
have
they
saved
didn't
me.
they didn't do a great job at treating those whales.
Yeah.
So you could have fell in and everybody would be like, oh no, it'll be fine. No, that whale probably would have ate your ass.
I'd like to thank
Just
Carly.
your ass.
Just no more ass Shamu. If Carly can't have cake, you can no longer have
It was
ass.
an ass
No
walk
ass
though,
eating.
man. I just want more ass.
He's an ass
Carly,
eater.
thank you for being so vulnerable this morning.
Yeah, thank you, Carly, for coming on
sharing
here and
I
having your
hate
Dr. Phil
myself.
moment. By the way, if you want to donate any Posturepedic mattresses or memory foam mattresses to fine folks here at Midcoast Media, and that we can pass it on to guests.
When I move, whenever that is, it's gonna be at some point. That's when I'm gonna get a new bed. I just don't feel like lugging a new situation
No, I
into
hear
my
you.
dump ass place. It's a whole thing.
If you want to
Just-
donate sleeping bags, please send it to Midcoast Media.
It's a
We'll
whole
make sure it
thing.
gets into
I'm-
Carly's hands.
I hate myself.
If you have excess pillows, if you have all those pillows on your bed that
It's
you
a
really
whole
don't
thing.
need, guys, your wife is always putting 75,000 pillows on the bed. How about you donate 20 to Carly? How about you do
They
that?
are flattening.
See? You got some
My
extra
body
confidence.
weight is heavier than
Fellas,
it
that's how, hey.
Pillows?
So, fellas, if you out there
my pillow mattress.
looking for a new situation, all you got to do is come hard with the comforter and potentially a queen size Posturepedic. That's all you need.
All
I'll
right.
have a nice life one day.
One day.
That's a good line.
Gardner, I did not get the reads as far as our amazing sponsors. If you have them in front of you, it would be great if you could read them before we go off air today. Or I could do my own live read. I'll do my own live read.
Okay,
How
let's
about
just-
that?
I'd rather flash it up there. You make it up.
Gateway Powder Coating. At Gateway Powder Coating, we take that rusty equipment of yours and we unrustify it with our amazing powder coating technology.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for something that needs to be powder coated, only think of one place in the Midwest. That's Gateway Powder Coating. I don't know if you knew this, Carly, but they're fast, they're durable, and they're affordable. And if you have the internet, perhaps on your phone or your computers, computadoras for our Spanish watchers, you can put Gateway Powder Coating in the Google box. And
Or
guess
go
what?
to gatewaypowdercoat.com.
If you want to get fancy, if you got some hackers who watch this show, then so be
But
it.
what about this one?
St. Louis Counseling,
Oh, that's
improving
what I
lives
need.
since 1955. Carly,
Yeah.
St. Louis Counseling. Improving lives since 1955.
That's
Go
probably
check
better
them
than what
out.
this has been.
Mental Health Matters, of course, records in this fine studio where you hear from notable celebrities from around the St. Louis area talk about getting rid of the mental illness stigma. On St. Louis Counseling, check them out. If you too also have Wi-Fi in your house, then you can hook up to the internet. If you got the internet, then you can go to Google and put St. Louis Counseling in the Google box.
St. Louis Counseling.
Is there a promo code for that
There
by
is.
chance? I am struggling
Yes,
for money.
H-E-L-P.
Yeah.
H-E-L-P
Well, that's not
is
bad.
the promo code.
And I think that's it, Travis.
Oh, very well. Well, you know what? This has been a delightful Tuesday. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday?
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
It's Wednesday? What the shit?
Yeah.
I know.
That holiday threw me off.
You should be figured it out by now.
I wish I had.
You're frightening my Barb.
I apologize, Barb. Barb, thanks for coming in. Carls, as always, it's great to see you. You're looking good, girlfriend.
Thanks. It's an optical illusion, but we appreciate it.
Gardner, job well done today.
Yeah, of course.
Chris Denman, he was here.
Uh-huh.
I'm Travis Terrell. This is We Are Live. Make sure you hit that subscribe button right there.
on
And
the
when you
other
do,
side. It's on the other
it's on
side.
on this side.
Yeah.
And when you hit that subscribe button, you get some cool updates from guys like us. Make sure you also,
Guys like us.
Carly, where can they follow you on the socials?
Carly Laughs on Instagram.
You can see her laying on the ice.
Nice.
That's the one I saw recently.
You checking out my pages?
Nice.
Your Instagram page?
Stalker page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
I'm supposed to like your photos, right?
Increase that engagement rate.
There you
That's
go.
what I'm trying to do.
Thank
And do the same thing for We Are Live while you're at it. Midcoast Media page. Check out our cute pictures. Chris and I down at 12th night looking adorable. And go to the Midcoast Media page.
There it is.
Look how cute that is.
So cute.
Check it all out. Great interviews. Tim Meadows was on our show.
The
Harlan
cutest.
Williams was on our show. Some great interviews. And I think
Oh.
I'll put, you'll see some excerpts from our Brooke Grimsley interview on the Instas today. And
I love
you can
her.
go. She said, oh my goodness.
What
we
a
had
gem. She's so beautiful. and she
yes.
looks like an American Girl,
Yeah.
Bratz doll hybrid.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
She
That's
couldn't-
why I kind of dressed up like
That's nice.
I still kind of look like a Steve Jobs Kim Possible hybrid.
But that works.
But
people
I didn't wear sweatpants.
People like the Steve Jobs look. That's hot.
But I saw you guys had her on yesterday, and I was like, oh, wow, I got to do something today.
Lovely, lovely, lovely woman.
I can't look like trash. I'm following in the footsteps of, like, a Miss America style.
No, she was a model.
She's beautiful. And she's great. She's cool. She's a cool gal.
It's been a delight the past couple of days.
It has been. Some
Having
great.
two cool gals in.
That's right. That's right.
Carly.
And Barb.
Two
Barb's in that
cool
group.
Gals. 3 cool gals in.
Mhm.
Okay?
I like it.
All right.
For all of our sponsors, our amazing guest,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ed, lovely folks at Hillside Animal Hospital.
Good luck to them. Hope everything's okay.
Word to the mother.
Yeah.
This has been We Are Live. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Peace.